This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
I'm Lauren Casey. Right now, police are investigating an incident between an officer and a teenager at a local high school. Video of the incident at Shortridge High School began circulating Thursday, and it shows an officer hitting a teen after a verbal argument. IMPD says it is looking into this incident and says the officer in the video is still on normal duty while this is being investigated. We're still working to figure out what all happened here, and we'll have more developments on this story in the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com as we learn more. We are also looking into an incident this morning with Beech Grove schools. District officials say they received a report this morning that a high school student may have a weapon. A pellet gun was found on a Beech Grove bus. Officials say the weapon was not in the school and did not pose a threat. They are thankful to the student for reporting that information. But right now it is time to take a turn and take a look outside. We're not only heading into your weekend, but it's also a holiday weekend. Many of you may be traveling, making those outdoor plans, so we want to check in with our own Todd Clausen to see how the weather is shaping up. Hey, Todd.
You know, Lauren, it's not a bad forecast going here into the holiday weekend. Yes, there are some minor rain chances, but there's plenty of dry hours, and this afternoon is an example of that. Temperatures right now are up into the 70s. There's a little bit of humidity that has come up as well, and here is that view, and you can see some sun shining on the buildings here in downtown Indianapolis. It's kind of filtered sunshine through some high, thin cloud cover out there, but we're completely dry, and we stay dry for the next few hours. In fact, it's kind of just now a band of cloud cover that's slowly lifting to the north. There's a little more in the way of sunshine as you work your way from Bloomington down towards the Seymour area. But we'll keep our eye on this little disturbance here. It's going to start to head our direction, and it could bring in just a few very, very spotty showers or maybe an isolated thunderstorm, mainly just in southern locations throughout the course of the afternoon and into the evening hours. If you do see the shower, it'll pass pretty quickly, so that's why you do not need to cancel any plans this evening. 70s to the north today, 80s down to the south where it gets a little bit warmer with that added sunshine. The Indians, they will get this game in. Fireworks after. Should be a beautiful night for baseball with temperatures in the 70s. Great night for football as well. We'll talk about that and the rest of your holiday forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, a Greenfield man is under arrest after he tested positive for illegal drugs following a crash that killed a bicyclist. The Hancock County Sheriff's Office says that 40-year-old Robert Terry was driving the minivan that hit and killed 76-year-old Roger Wellenreiter of Greenfield. The crash happened on County Road 300 North. Police say Terry tested positive for THC, the ingredient active in marijuana and methamphetamine. Now, he was also driving on a suspended license. Well, public transportation in Indianapolis will look a lot different starting this weekend. The Indigo Red Line Rapid Transit route starts on Sunday. RTV6 is working for you, helping you to prepare for the traffic changes coming with the new system. One big change for drivers, a median on the stretch of Meridian Street and designated intersections where you can turn left or make a U-turn. Well, this makes it more difficult to get to some businesses, even apartment complexes like the Murat where Sarah Gherkin lives.
The day the buses were practicing, and as I was trying to get into the apartment over the tracks, of course, a bus was coming by, practicing, being in the route, whatever, but luckily I looked and saw them. They weren't slowing down, so I would have been hit.
It really does come down to safety, both being able to keep the buses moving frequently and reliably, but also, you know, kind of reducing some of those potential interactions with a vehicle and a bus.
Well, right now, Indigo does not plan to add any signs telling drivers not to drive over those medians. For more guidance on how to navigate the red line, you can head on over to the RTV6 app and just click on this story. Starting this afternoon, drivers on the near north side should see something that they haven't seen in more than 2.5 years. Good news, the Central Avenue Bridge over Fall Creek is supposed to be open by this afternoon rush hour. That's according to a tweet from the Department of Public Works. The bridge closed back in January of 2017 after it started to fall apart. DPW hoped to open it by July, but that work was not done at that time. Well, Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's project that works to connect you to skills, resources, and employment. In August, we've been going big on educational opportunities. Today, students are getting to learn CSI style as they try and solve crimes in their biomedical science program. Our Aaron Lish examines how this program is giving teens the tools they need to discover their passions.
If there were people involved, then, you know, they could have, pushed her.
Walking around the crime scene, students are figuring out how this woman died.
Why would they kill the ex-wife if they're, doing fine on their own?
Instructors say the mock investigation is part of the biomedical science program.
I think it's wonderful. I think of myself more as a facilitator, so I give them the problem and they try to solve it in the end. So.
Jasmine Bickle wants to be a first responder, and as they learn about forensics, autopsies, drug analysis, and the human body's system, Bickle says she will benefit from this program in the future.
So it's kind of like stuff that you'll see on the scene that you need to know when you get to the scene for an EMT.
Students study blood spatter and get a closer look under the microscope, which Devin Cooper believes will help him pursue a career in microbiology.
Just getting experience with the lab, the equipment, and learning safety procedures and stuff like that.
Through this program, they get college credit and certifications in CPR and first aid. And as students get better understanding about biomedical science, they are having fun solving the case along the way.
I think it's really cool. I mean, I really enjoy it.
It's pretty crazy, but it's really exciting.
Well, if you are looking to learn a little bit more about any career programs or job opportunities in Central Indiana we focus on here on the show, you can find all the stories right now at the RTV6 app or also at hiringhoosiers.com. Well, the two major party candidates for mayor of Indianapolis go head-to-head for the very first time before the November election. The hour-long debate last night remained civil as Democratic Mayor Joe Hogsett and his Republican challenger Jim Merritt discussed the variety of issues. Merritt and Hogsett went back and forth on roads, poverty, economic development, and the city's crime rate.
Point is, progress is being made, and it's because of the investments that we have made over the last 4 years that I think change is coming.
It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. You've had 3.5 years. What you're doing is not working.
Well, the candidates for mayor will not debate again until shortly before Election Day. Hogsett and Merritt will be joined by Libertarian candidate Douglas McNaughton in Wayne Township on October 28th. That's just over 1 week from Election Day. It's also 3 weeks after the early voting will have begun. Well, the men's soccer team at Purdue University Northwest up in Hammond, Indiana has a new member. This is 9-year-old Jackson Clark, and he has a form of muscular dystrophy. Jackson loves soccer, and especially the team at Purdue University Northwest. So when they heard about his story, they decided to officially make him part of the team. The team has a special signing ceremony for Jackson. They even gave him his own jersey. Jackson says he hopes to make it to every game. Pretty cool. Well, coming up here on the news at noon, it's a sketchy website that might fool you if you're not looking close enough. The warning you need to know from the Better Business Bureau just ahead. And then a little later, we're going to check on Hurricane Dorian's progress. But now let's get a look back home, Todd.
And Lauren, there is an update on Dorian that just came in, and we'll share that with you as well. Our weather pattern remains a little bit unsettled here as we set into the holiday weekend. It's not a washout, though, but there will be some rain chances. We'll time it all out for you in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
Stumptown coming to ABC. This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Time now for an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Joining me in studio today is Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau. And Tim, today we have a website that's a little sketchy and people are having some trouble with it.
Yeah, you know, we monitor businesses and websites out there, and if we see something that really has a lot of complaints against us, a lot of customer reviews that people have had very, very bad luck with, we try to tell people about this. And in this particular case, it's a company called Pacific Pike, and they supposedly sell a variety of goods, furniture, electronic goods, telephones, all types of things. The complaints that we've got is that people either don't receive their goods, or if they do receive something, it's very substandard. We have tried many, many times to contact these people and just have not had any luck at all. So we just want to tell people, if you're shopping on this website, be very, very cautious, because you may get caught on that. So just remember, you know, shop online and just be very, very careful when you do it. Always pay with your credit card. Take precautions online, because you just never know, you know, what's going to happen online, and you want to take all the precautions you can.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. This has been an RTV6 Consumer Alert. Still ahead here on the news at noon, it is slated to bring destruction to Florida, how Dorian is tracking right now, and how people down there are preparing. And then he was the voice of Skeletor and Falcor from the Neverending Story, and now that voice and the man behind it is in studio to talk about Indiana Comic-Con. Let's take a live look outside right now. A beautiful shot here of the White River and the Indianapolis Zoo on your screen. Looks like sunny skies out there at this lunch hour. We're going to check in with Todd Clausen to get your full weekend forecast just ahead. You're watching the news at noon on RTV6.
Keller and Keller.
This is the news at noon on RTV6. Dangerous Hurricane Dorian is now strengthening, and it should make landfall on Florida's east coast Monday night into Tuesday as a Category 4 storm. It is expected to approach Florida with winds of 140 miles per hour, and it should make landfall at those speeds. It would become only the 9th hurricane to do so, dating back to 1851. Well, areas affected by Hurricane Dorian will get some help from the Hoosier State. Duke Energy plans on sending dozens of crews from Indiana to help. The crews left from various locations all across the state at 7 o'clock this morning. We're told the line workers, vegetation workers, and supervisors will head to Macon, Georgia to wait out their next assignment. Right now, it's not clear how long Indiana workers will stay in the southeast. And I do want to bring in Todd Clausen right now because he's been following Dorian and its path. And what's the latest update?
You know, so it slowed down a little bit. Okay. So landfall in Florida is not expected now to be probably till Monday or Tuesday. With that said, the track has not changed all that much. Okay. We're still looking at landfall, probably potentially right around West Palm Beach, Florida. But here is Dorian. And the one thing you notice in this satellite loop is the eye is becoming a little more well-defined. And what that means is the storm is continuing to gain strength. If you don't have that very distinct eye wall, the hurricane can kind of become more unorganized. So this shows that the storm is strengthening. The stats as of 11 o'clock this morning. Sustained winds, 110 miles per hour. That's up 5 miles per hour from the morning update. And then there is the direction it's moving, northwest at only 10 miles per hour, and it's nearly 500 miles to the east of the Bahamas. So it stays over open water for at least the next 24 hours. Then it starts to threaten the Bahamas as a Category 4 hurricane during the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday. Then it slows down, and it doesn't really make landfall now as it comes into South Florida until probably Monday night into Tuesday morning. But you notice it's a Category 4 as it approaches, and then as soon as it hits land, it'll weaken and then start to turn to the north. And it's still a Category 1 hurricane as it moves up the heart of Florida. But this would be more of a rain issue than anything northern portions of Florida. So the focus will be on South Florida. With this storm system, the hurricane force winds only go out 25 miles per hour from the center, so it's a compact storm. But where unfortunately that eye does hit, there's likely to be a lot of damage in whatever location that turns out to be, and we'll continue to update you throughout the weekend. Here in central Indiana, kind of a high overcast sky this afternoon with temperatures that are now up into the 70s. And we'll deal with filtered sunshine throughout the afternoon hours, but we remain dry. This little disturbance off to our west. We'll try to get a few isolated showers going in southern locations, so places like Bloomington, Seymour. Don't be shocked if you see a quick passing shower late this afternoon and into the evening hours. But as soon as the sun starts to set and that front slides to the south, those shower chances will fade away pretty quickly. So for high school football, 99% of central Indiana is just fine. There could be that stray storm that maybe could delay some games in southern locations, but by 9 a.m. everybody's just fine. 75 degrees. For the rest of the holiday weekend, tomorrow's a day very similar to today. Partly sunny skies, just about a 20% chance of an isolated storm. Sunday, a little better chance of widespread storms across the area. So here's TrueCast for you on Saturday. Again, it's just a hit or miss storm here or there, and it's more late than anything. But then as we go into the day on Sunday, you notice they start to become a little more widespread throughout the afternoon hours. Still a lot of dry hours on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. Just a little better chance of a storm or two popping up for you. 84 degrees. Labor Day itself looks to be great with mostly sunny skies, 85, then near 90 degrees by the time we get to the day on Tuesday.
Feel nothing, He-Man, but you will no longer be a problem to me. By the powers of darkness, evil, and fear, I command He-Man's memory to now disappear.
Well, it's the voice that terrorized He-Man back in the day. The voice of Skeletor, Alan Oppenheimer, is among the celebrities in town here in Indy as the Indiana Comic-Con gets underway today at the Indiana Convention Center. That convention just got underway and it runs through Sunday, and Alan is here with us this midday. He's the voice you just heard there. Probably sounds familiar to a lot of people at home right now. Alan, thanks for being with us here today.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for coming to Indy. Welcome. I hope you have a good time here.
I hope so. I expect so.
Yes, well, you're coming to this convention, meeting fans. What's the best part about doing these conventions?
Meeting fans.
Meeting fans.
It's always a surprise, a pleasant surprise to hear their stories, and so much of it resolved around coming home and voicing their childhood, and also the morals at the end of the episodes, which I was unaware of because they were put in later.
Yeah.
And they were in some cases actually life-saving for young boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Without getting too specific, but it's very touching.
A big impact.
You bet.
What's it like all these years later, looking back and hearing your voice and thinking, I'm the voice of all these iconic characters that people know so well?
Well, I mean, it's such a surprise, pleasant surprise. I mean, we did these things 35 years ago, I guess, and I went home, then I came back and did another one, went home, and I never thought any more of it. And then here we are. It's worldwide, it's iconic, and I'm still here.
You still got it.
Yeah.
And we know that you did Skeletor and Vanity Smurf. What do you get more requests for when you meet people?
Skeletor.
Okay, that's the big one.
And Falcor from The Never-Ending Story.
Okay. And your favorite character looking back?
Well, that's hard to say. I mean, I even had favorite in Transformers, where I did Warpath.
Okay.
And I like doing that a lot too. So I had a lot of favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in their own way.
I don't think I ever did anything that I didn't want to do.
Okay.
Because if it was no good, I tried to come up with another voice.
Okay. And so we know that people can come out to the convention center to see you, and you welcome them. Just come up, say hello.
I do.
Awesome.
Come to my table.
Come to his table.
We'll talk.
Alan, thank you so much. We want to put up the information right now about Indiana Comic-Con. It is happening starting today at the Convention Center and running all weekend long, and you can meet a ton of celebrities, including Alan, this incredible voice right here. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
And welcome to Indy. We hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll see y'all.
And still ahead here on the news at noon, the latest look at the court cases all around the nation. You're watching RTV6.
Sandwich for 75 years.
This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
Happy Labor Day to you. I'm Yodi Tawalde. Jury selection begins tomorrow in the next big trial Court TV is going to be covering, Ohio versus Richardson. A former high school cheerleader is on trial accused of killing her baby and burying the body in her family's backyard just days after prom. Brooke Skylar Richardson is charged with aggravated murder, involuntary manslaughter, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. She pleaded not guilty and claims the baby was stillborn. According to court documents, her OBGYN alerted authorities after Richardson told her about the birth. The prosecutor announced the charges shortly after the body was discovered.
I think it's fair to say that there were a significant number of people in her life who had strong suspicions. I mean, she's 38 to 40 weeks pregnant at the prom, which is 2 days before this happens, wearing, fairly tight attire. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to recognize that she might be pregnant.
Her attorneys say Richardson admitted burying the remains, but they claim the fetus was not viable. She could get up to life in prison if convicted. That's the latest for now. Court TV will bring you the latest coverage of this trial tomorrow. Now back to you.
All right, a decent weekend ahead for us here in central Indiana. Yes, there are some minor rain chances this afternoon, only in southern locations tomorrow. A spot storm in the evening. Otherwise, plenty of sunshine, 81 degrees on Saturday. A little better chance of storms on Sunday, probably about 30 to 40% in the afternoon at 84 degrees. Then Labor Day itself is dry at 85, near 90 on Tuesday before a cold front brings storms Tuesday night, and then cooler weather for the middle of next week.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us, making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you come back and join us for the news at 5. Have a great weekend.